Hey, it's Nastya. Today, let's work on something a lot of people find stressful in English: job interviews. Maybe they ask you to introduce yourself, and suddenly your mind goes blank. Maybe you do have experience, but you're not sure how to explain it in a simple, clear way. Or maybe they ask why you want the job, and your first answer sounds too basic. In this video, we're going to work through those moments together. You'll hear natural interview answers, better ways to respond, and useful English you can actually use in real life. Before we start, I have a quick question for you. Listen carefully. If the interviewer asks, "Why do you want this job?" what can you say in simple, natural English? A good answer comes up in the interview. If you hear it, write it in the comments. Writing short answers like this is a great way to practice real English. Okay, let's begin.
Hi, Nastya?
Yes, hi.
Hi, I'm Megan. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Come on in.
Thanks.
Have a seat.
Thanks for meeting with me.
Of course. How's your day going so far?
Pretty good. A little nervous, honestly, but good.
That's totally normal. Did you find the office okay?
Yeah, I did. I got here a little early, actually.
That's always a good idea.
Yeah, I wanted a few minutes to settle in first.
Makes sense. So let's start simple. Can you tell me a little about yourself?
Sure. My name's Nastya. I've been living here for a while, and I've been focusing on improving my English and building more work experience and… Sorry, let me answer that better.
No problem.
I'm currently looking for a role where I can use my customer service background, keep learning, and grow professionally. I've worked in busy, people-facing environments, and I like work that's practical, organized, and communication-based.
Okay, good.
I'd also say I'm dependable, calm under pressure, and quick to learn.
What kind of work have you done before?
Mostly customer-facing roles. I've helped customers, handled payments, answered questions, and worked with teams during busy shifts.
And what kind of role are you looking for now?
Something stable where I can contribute, improve my skills, and become more confident over time.
What made you apply for this position?
I liked that it combines communication, organization, and support. It feels people-focused, but also more structured, and that really appealed to me.
How would you describe yourself at work?
Responsible, friendly, and steady. I try to stay clear, helpful, and calm when things get busy.
And what do you already know about the role?
From the job description, it seems like there's a mix of communication, admin support, scheduling, and general coordination. I liked that it wasn't just one repetitive task all day.
That's right.
That's part of why I applied.
All right, let's talk more about your experience.
Quick note: when they ask, "Tell me about yourself," don't give your whole life story. A better answer is short, work-focused, and relevant to the role. You can talk about your background, your strengths, and what kind of job you're looking for. And if your first answer comes out wrong, that's okay. A very useful line is, "Let me answer that better." That sounds natural and professional.
I can see from your resume that most of your background is in customer service.
Yeah, that's right.
Can you tell me a little about your last job?
Sure. In my last job, I worked at Green Bean Cafe for 2 years. I took customer orders, handled payments, answered questions, and helped keep things organized during busy shifts.
Okay.
I also worked with coworkers closely, helped with opening tasks sometimes, and dealt with small day-to-day problems.
What kind of problems?
Usually practical ones. Wrong orders, missing items, confused customers, things like that.
And how did you usually handle that?
I tried to stay calm, understand the problem clearly, and deal with one thing at a time.
This role is more administrative. How do you think your experience fits here?
I haven't had that exact role before, but I think a lot of the skills transfer. I had to communicate clearly, stay organized, remember details, and solve small problems quickly.
That makes sense.
So even though the setting is different, the core skills are pretty similar.
What were your usual responsibilities on a normal shift?
Sorry, do you mean my typical day-to-day tasks?
Yes, exactly.
I took orders, worked with the register, answered customer questions, restocked supplies, and helped things run smoothly when it got busy.
Did you ever have to help train new staff?
A little, yeah. I showed new people how the routine worked and helped them get comfortable.
What would you say is one of your strengths?
One of my strengths is staying calm when things get busy. I don't always enjoy chaos, but I can stay focused and practical.
And what's something you're still working on?
I'd say confidence in completely new environments. At first, I like to understand the system properly. Once I know how things work, I become much more confident.
That's fair. How do you handle feedback?
Pretty well. I'd rather know if something needs to be fixed. I think feedback helps me improve faster.
Can you give me an example?
Yeah, in one job, I was trying to do everything too fast. A supervisor told me it was better to be clear and consistent first, and then build speed naturally.
That's good advice.
Yeah, it really helped. A few useful things happened there. First, notice this line. I worked at Green Bean Cafe for 2 years. That's a very natural way to say how long you worked somewhere. Second, if you don't understand a question, you can say, "Sorry, do you mean?" That sounds normal and professional. And if your background is not exactly the same as the new role, this line is really useful. I haven't had that exact role, but a lot of the skills transfer.
So, why do you want this job?
Honestly, I just need a job.
Okay,
Sorry, that sounded too blunt.
that's okay. Go ahead.
What I mean is, I'm looking for a stable role where I can use the experience I already have, keep improving, and be part of a team. I'm interested in this position because it includes communication, organization, and support work, and those are all things I enjoy.
That's much clearer.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
And why this company specifically?
From what I read, the role seems structured, the team sounds supportive, and the work looks varied in a good way. That really appealed to me.
Why do you think you'd be a good fit here?
I think I'd be a good fit because I'm dependable, I communicate clearly, and I'm used to dealing with people in a calm and practical way.
I also noticed there's a period on your resume where you weren't working. Can you tell me a little about that?
Sure. During that time, I was focusing on improving my English and getting ready to return to work in a more stable way.
Okay. And do you feel ready now?
Yeah, definitely.
This role can be busy at times. How do you handle fast-changing situations?
Pretty well. I try to stay focused on what matters first, not panic, and communicate clearly if priorities change.
Let's talk about scheduling. This role is usually full-time, Monday through Friday. Does that work for you?
Yeah, that should work for me.
And if we decided to move forward, when would you be available to start?
I'd be available to start next Monday.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I do. What does a typical day look like in this role?
Usually the morning starts with emails, schedules, and anything urgent. Later in the day, it shifts more into calls, coordination, and general support.
Okay, that sounds good.
Anything else?
Yeah. Is there training at the beginning?
Yes. The first week is mostly training and shadowing.
That's really good to know.
Any other questions?
Just one more. What are the most important qualities for someone in this role?
Probably communication, reliability, attention to detail, and the ability to stay calm when things get busy.
Okay, that helps a lot.
All right. Thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for your time.
Of course. We'll be in touch.
Sounds good. Have a great afternoon.
You too.
That last part was really important. Sometimes your first answer is not your best answer. That happened when I said, "Honestly, I just need a job." That may be true, but it's too weak for an interview. A much better move is, "What I mean is," then give a clearer answer. Also notice that I asked questions at the end. That makes you sound more thoughtful and more serious about the job. Let's quickly go over the most useful English from this interview. When they say, "Tell me about yourself," keep your answer short and work-focused. Useful starters are, "I'm currently looking for," "I have experience in," and "I'd describe myself as." When you talk about past work, useful phrases include, "In my last job, I worked at Green Bean Cafe for 2 years," and "I was responsible for." If you need clarification, you can say, "Sorry, do you mean?" or "Could you repeat that?" If your background is not exactly the same as the new job, you can say, "I haven't had that exact role, but a lot of the skills transfer." And when they ask why you want the job, try to connect your answer to the role. "I'm interested in this position because," or "I think I'd be a good fit because." Now let's go back to the question from the beginning. If the interviewer asks, "Why do you want this job?" what can you say? One good answer came up in the video. Did you catch it? Write it in the comments. And for extra practice, write one more short sentence about your own work experience in English. See you in the next video.